Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Ramble. In this one, I am going to be covering 25, yes, 25 different OSRS improvements that I would personally like to see enter this game. So, this is just a list that I wrote down in my notes app over the past couple days. I feel like it was inspired by the Winter Summit. I don't know, with like new things coming out. I just I don't know. It gets my brain spinning. I just think of all the things I want in this game, and I get really excited about new updates. And I'm just looking forward to what Jagex is proposing, and then that just spirals in my mind, and I think of other things that I would like. So a lot of these will be sort of repeat things that I've mentioned over the years, but you probably haven't heard some of them for years. And there's also some brand new ones that I've been kind of thinking. I've been chatting about them with my stream on Twitch as well. So down in the description, if you guys want to check out my streams, I've been streaming a lot more often. You can follow me on Twitch down there. Follow me on Twitter as well. And let's just get straight into this. So I'll be chopping this redwood tree right here with my new... Oh, by the way, I just got to show this. This was so cool. So on my stream, we decided to do a volcano mask, and I got my second crystal tool seed, and it looked so beautiful on the ground. It was all pink. And it was, I'm surprised. These things are like 18 mil or something like that. So that's pretty nice. So I finally got my axe, and I could barely even see that. This thing's got to be highlighted. Like, what is going on here? How do I... There we go. That thing's got to be redded. Okay, there we go. And yeah, that was really nice. And now I really don't think I need to go back because pretty sure... pickaxes don't... I mean, the crystal pickaxe is good and all, but like I just have the crystal harpoon and the axe now. Crystal pickaxes feels pretty unnecessary because most of the time when I'm mining, I don't want to just consume a vast amount of shards. I don't know. There's like I know I'm using a lot here, but like not that many compared to somewhere like star mining where like every single time you swing, you're losing a charge. Here it's like super rare to lose a charge, right? It's like every single log you get, right? Yeah, it is. So anyway, and most mining, I'm just going to be doing a lot of tech manipulation anyway. So, all right, let's just start from the top of the list. And again, this is over the past couple days. One of the things I really want to see is a ham member talk option. So ham members used to have a talk option. This is pre like menu entry swapping, and I just feel like they got rid of it because I don't even know why. I don't think there really was a reason why they got rid of the talk option. They just wanted to make it cleaner, I guess. And like, who's going to be talking to ham members? So like, let's just make it pickpocket. But then they did add menu entry swap, and you can't talk to the ham member. So you might be thinking, why do you want to talk to a ham member? Are you playing a role-playing game or something? Like, what are you trying to do? No, so talking to any NPC holds them still, and they can't despawn. So if you're familiar with like the crafting guild tanner up there, you can have an alt to like talk to the tanner, and he stays put forever. And that's really convenient, especially with ham members, because there is a way to trap a ham member into the like first kind of room, but it's very rare to get him trapped there. Plus, once he's trapped, there is actually, even if you do everything right, there is just a chance that it despawns and goes back to the main room. So personally, I would like it so ham members can just stand still. If you bring, I mean, I don't really like playing with alts, but ultimately when there's no ham members in that main room, you feel like you're kind of trolling when you have to go all the way to the bedroom. And it would just be cool if you could just have an alt just stand there, and then easy clues just feels more consistent and efficient across the board, and you don't have to rely on RNG and these other weird tactics trying to trap and lure these hams. So anyway, that's just something I would really love to see. Also, on the Archaeus spellbook, I'm just going to bring this up really quick. This isn't even one of them, but what is... Okay, so Dark Lure stops your target from fleeing. Well, first of all, that's kind of a weird description. It brings targets toward you, it feels like. So stops your target from fleeing. I guess it like just stalls them, sort of. But it also brings them towards you. I've used this against... Implings. It'd be cool if you could dark lure like basic NPCs like hand members is too. So you could actually just lure hand members into the main room, so it's just faster. Anyway, I'm going on a way too large of a ramble. Also, what is up with this redwood tree? I thought this stuff lasted like 4 minutes. Oh, wait. Normal trees don't last for... Wait, do they last for... I can't remember what forestry did. Did forestry change the player grown trees? I don't know. Anyway, next one is... I would like a Forthos dungeon teleport. Yes, you're probably thinking, wow, Sarachnis Ansi wants a closer telly to his spider pit. Yes, I do, okay? I want that. And I think it's appropriate as well. Most of the time when you're doing a repeatable content, it's just nice being able to teleport there quickly. So let me just pull up like what I'm thinking. Forthos dungeon? What? It's not even on here? What the hell? I guess I've got to find it myself. What happened? All right, let me just scroll over here. So Forthos is right here. And when you go down here, I mean, so just run. Okay, yeah, here we go. So I have to teleport, or people, it's not just me that's killing this boss, but I clicked the wrong thing anyway. You got to teleport to the Xerix Talisman, run all the way over here, go down here. You spawn in right here, and then you have to run all the way down to the spider pit every single time you want to go back. So I was just proposing, what if there was a way to teleport to this main man that's like standing here? Maybe there could be like a rare drop, like a Forthos amulet or something like that just teleports you here really nicely. And then you have the red dragons here, you have the undead druids, you have the temple spiders, and you have Sarachnis down here. And maybe it could even be charged with like red spider eggs or something if you wanted some lore attachment. But I mean, seriously, like this place, it would just be cool to be able to get a teleport there. And I feel like most dungeons, most content in general, once you get like a nice telly there, it just becomes more bearable and more just, I don't know, people just don't like running. I am the master of running to places. Me and Lake, I mean, I always have to throw Lake's name in there. We literally ran to Nightmare. I mean, he ran like a couple days more than me, but he ran to Nightmare for a week straight. I was like just under 6 days. I'm talking 6 days of in-game play. Yeah, you see this 820 days I played? 6 of those days, just about 6, was me running to Nightmare. Yes, running to Nightmare. That is it. That's all I did for 6 days straight. So obviously they thought it was a good idea, and then they reverted it and they introduced a sleepy tablet. Thank fucking God for that. So anyway, I just don't like running to places repeatedly. It's like, okay, we get it. Yeah, okay, you're trying to like be all cute and stuff. Like, oh, this is a really fun game where you're running to play like DKs as well. That's actually on the list. Later I'll talk about that. But I don't know. It's like, come on, it's 2024. I'm just sick and tired of running to places. It's just such a waste of time. So pointless. Anyway. Okay, the next thing I want to see, this is kind of in regards to teleporting, is allow a one-time ancient shard cost to tele you in the catacombs. Yes, so if you guys are unfamiliar, once you enter in the catacombs, there's an altar here that teleports you to Skotiza, but you can also use an ancient shard to teleport to 4 different locations. And I don't even think they list them on here, but there's like one location that's like over here somewhere. I think it's like right here or something. And then there's one place that's right here next to the jellies. There's one place over here by like the deviant specters, and there's another place by like the blue dragons or something like that. I think it's blue dragons. So it's a really cool thing, but it's super underutilized because who the hell wants to spend one entire shard for a one-time use to get to a random place in the catacomb? So I was just thinking, what if it was like 100 shard fee per unlock, or maybe for all of them or something like that, like something respectable. Maybe it would be 100 each, and you just select the one that you're actually going to be using or something like that. I don't know, something, but it needs to be a permanent thing. It's just so ridiculous that you have to spend one shard to teleport like 30 tiles. It's just weird. Anyway, the other thing is I'm actually going to teleport to my POH for this one. Speed up all POH tellies. So I'm going to give an example of one of the teleports that is fast. So I don't actually have a mounted glory in my house, I don't think. But a mounted glory is a great example, and many people have used it, and they know what I'm talking about. When you're and this mounted music cape has the same thing. When you're running to it, as soon as your tile is like the very tick that your true tile hits this adjacent tile to the mounted music cape, you're teleporting already. And there's a lot of other different teleports like the Portal Nexus and these sort of amulets that require you to stand adjacent to it for a full tick before anything registers, before the menus pop up, before anything, and it just feels sluggish. I don't feel like many people really know just how sluggish this kind of ends up feeling. But I'm going to show you like a good example. So this is the music cape. See how as soon as I've hit there, like my guy is literally, not even at the music cape graphically yet. Like animated, he's not even there yet. I'm going to show it one more time. So my guy's, I mean, his true tile is there, but, he's teleporting while it looks like he's still running to it. Same thing with the jewelry box. These are really nice teleports. But then you run over here to the portal nexus, and if I want to go to, like, the menu, notice how I have to stand there for a full tick, and then it takes an entire another tick to open up the menu. That's sluggish. That is sluggish to me. It's the same thing with the dig site menu. If I go over here, like, why does it have to have that additional tick? I know this is like me just, people are probably just getting pissed off at me like talking about this, but it's inconsistent. First of all, it's inconsistent because there's some that don't have it and then there's some that do have it. This is another example of one that is just slow. Like the menu just takes too long to open. Can we just speed this stuff up by a tick? Same thing with here, Portal Nexus. Like, I'm sorry, just open these menus one tick faster. That would be so nice. It would be so nice. Let me know what you guys think. By the way, I do have to give a shout out to Jagex for speeding up the POH load time. So I already had an efficient load here, which is 2 ticks. So like when I actually teleport in, 1, 2, and then you're in. And that required like a 4x4 house or smaller. And now they've changed it. So I'm pretty sure any single house, including upstairs and downstairs, now all load in 2 ticks, which is insane. That's so amazing. Well done, Jagex. Is it possible, however, now I'm not going to be greedy, but I'm genuinely asking this as like, I'm just curious. Is it possible for that load to be entirely removed, or would that just like break the game? I'm just genuinely curious. It's always, I was thinking of a word and I saw this guy polite. It's a delight to see the, game get improved and like things get made faster and just more efficient and stuff. So I genuinely just wonder, let me know if anybody has like an idea of what that would take to make it so there is no tick load for a house. Like, would that just literally break the game because there's just too much like horsepower? I don't know where a horse came from, but anyway, is it like gonna break the engine or something? I don't know. Anyway, next thing is, this is something I'm down for. And the reason I'm down for this next thing is because I guess because Leagues always comes out and people like their stackable clues and stuff, I just think, and I've brought this up before, instead of stackable clues, what if we just allowed an update that allows multiple clues of the same tier to be picked up without stacking? So you can do your Hellhound task and you get a hard clue, and then you get another one and you can pay. Guess what? You can pick it up. So now you have 2 clues in your inventory. You can pick up a third one. You can pick up a fourth one. You can pick up as many as you want, but they don't actually stack in one inventory item, and they also don't stack in your bank. So there isn't like this sort of indefinite, just like you can just infinitely stack up clues and throw them in your bank and then go on a like 7-month grind of grinding clues because you've just over all the content you've done, you now have this massive stack. But instead, you can just pick up a variety of clues. This would also help in things like raids where you're raiding with the boys. You get an elite clue from the chest, and you're like, oh, god damn it. Like, I kind of want to do this, but I kind of want to keep raiding. And this would allow you to just hold multiple elites. So anyway, just a proposal. It's kind of like, I feel like this is like the best, in my opinion, this is the best form of stacking clues, or just, it's not really stacking, but just, getting multiple clues. And it also creates a little bit of diversity in the way you solve clues. For example, if you could actually optimize your layout to do like 4 hard clues at a time, and what you're doing is you're looking at all 4, and then you're trying to plan out your route. So like if, one of the clues ends up being agility pyramid, you're like, oh god, I got to go all the way up to the agility pyramid. Hey, why not try to finish these last 3 clues, and maybe one of those will also have an agility pyramid, so that I can do 2 steps at once. You see what I mean? It's the same thing with any sort of clue that's just like a dragon's eye step or something like that if it was masters. I just think it could be a cool thing for the game. It's not something, I'm ultimately sort of indifferent. Like if we had the same system we have right now, it's not the end of the world. I guess my fear is just the endless stacking that just gets rid of the distraction and diversion. In this system that I'm proposing, it wouldn't get rid of the distraction and diversion element of it. It just allows it to be slightly more convenient. And there's like some magical force that just prevents you from picking up another fucking piece of paper. So anyway, something that I think would be cool. Okay, this will be pretty controversial, but I want to hear your guys' take. I want to just hear what you guys have to think about this. So I was thinking, you know how you can only teleport out of the wilderness, under 30 wilderness with certain items? What if you could actually teleport out of the wilderness at any wilderness level? Yes, I'm talking even out here. So, over here, you have an item that teleports you out of the wilderness at any level, but you cannot be in combat, and the teleport animation takes 3 to 5 seconds or something like that. So it wouldn't be a quick escape that now everywhere in the wilderness is safe. It's ultimately just like, okay, I just did a step over here in I did an elite step, right? I exited the Scorpio cave and I just want to teleport out quickly. I just want to get out of here without running all the way out. I could just use an item that allows me to teleport out. So it's not breaking anything. It's just getting people out of the wilderness quicker. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So I will say one of the downsides for the predators in the wilderness that want to attack people, this would actually, I'm trying to think okay, so maybe there would be less traffic in the wilderness because people are getting out quicker. But then again, people are getting back into the wilderness quicker because they're getting out, but they're probably grinding an activity in the wilderness. So I don't even think the traffic would even lessen with people being able to just teleport out immediately from anywhere. Not immediately, by the way, 3 to 5 second teleport animation that can get interrupted by a PK that spots you, something like that, and you have to stay still for it. I don't know. I'm just thinking it would just be kind of cool. I need to hear some downsides. If you guys have any legitimate downsides besides no, this is not the game I grew to love. This is not what we had in 2002. Fucking fuck off. Yeah. Okay. If that's not your argument and it's actually reasonable, let me hear it because that would actually be interesting. But I do want to just know, is there actually legitimate downsides to this? To just being able to teleport out of the wilderness entirely just with just from anywhere with an item. And maybe the item could even be expensive, so you're bringing it out there, and that's a risk of itself, so anyway, let me know what you guys think. Okay, the other thing I want to see is a strange old puzzle solver. So you know how the strange old lockpick from Sepulcher allows you to bypass the little puzzle doors and barrows? I was thinking, what if clue scroll, it could be dropped from anywhere, but I was thinking clue scrolls themselves could drop these strange old puzzle solvers that allow you to bypass a puzzle. So we all know that RuneLite just instantly solves, well, not instantly, but they solve your puzzles for you. And this would just be a way to entirely bypass it. So for those people that are grinding clues out a bunch, you know how you just are clicking this fucking 5x5 puzzle, slide puzzle just a million times, and then every single step is another one. It's okay, we get it. We've done this thousands of times. This would just be a way. It's an item that you carry around. Maybe it has 50 charges or something, and it can just bypass all puzzles. So puzzles are already solved. This isn't getting rid of anything besides just a little bit of tedious time, just clicking in a repeated motion over and over and over with what RuneLite's telling you to do. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about that one. Next one is allow full Inquisitors to guarantee Dragon Warhammer specs. I've been yelling about this for months at this point, even years, but months more recently. And I just think it's time. It's time, boys. I think that would be a great addition to the full Inquisitor set. As long as you have the full thing equipped, you guarantee a Dragon Warhammer spec. And that would be amazing. So that would just speed up a lot of things. That I've talked to a lot of elite gamers, and they don't actually see any downsides to it, other than now Inquisitors, it feels kind of necessary in some places, which is ultimately good because Nightmare kind of is the Nightmare items kind of suck. Anyway, so that would be really nice. It would just make, obviously they already did some weird arbitrary nerf with Tecton to allow it, but Corp would be made nicer. Any single boss would be made nicer with Dragon Warhammer. But you got to remember, it does require full Inquisitors, not just one piece, not just the hammer. And yeah, anyway, I'm still open to hearing some downsides to that, by the way. talked to a lot of people, and nobody seems to have a real one that actually is going to break the game in any way. So still interested. Let me know down in the comments. Also, while we're here and while we're, still going through them, if you're enjoying the video, drop a like and be sure to subscribe. I appreciate it, guys. Okay, next one is, this is, so you know how blood shards are really super annoying to get? Obviously, mains don't have to deal with it. They have a grand exchange. But for Iron Men, if you're just trying to like get some blood shards, it's just horribly slow and very tedious if you're choosing the pickpocketing route. I was thinking, what if there was an additional Vire spot with Mauritania Elite Diary that's in Darkmare that gives increased blood shards at an increased rate. So the bots aren't going to be there unless they have Mauritania Elite, which would be pretty impressive. But this would be a real farmable spot for real players where bots aren't there. It requires Mauritania Elite, and maybe there's like a double shot of getting a blood shard. And there could be some that you pickpocket and some that you kill, like Vire Sentinels, but it's just a kind of exclusive area for those that have achieved Mauritania Elite. And these would not be farmed. I don't feel like the blood shards would actually change in price at all for those worrying about the economy, because very few mains are already doing this. It requires Mauritania Elite, and there is like the ratio of bots compared to real players that are grinding up blood shards is like just absurd. So, and it would be very hard for somebody that actually is playing on those accounts to get Mauritania Elite on all of those accounts and start grinding them. You understand what I mean? So anyway, let me know what you guys think about that. Also, alongside that, this was something that is kind of interesting. This is like not really a point on my list, but it is something I'm curious to know what you guys' thoughts are. What if blood shards dropped from TOB at a very rare rate? Well, not very rare rate, not like rare than stuff, but I don't know, maybe like a 1 in 50 or something from a TOB. So you actually could get blood shards occasionally from TOB. And then I was thinking, what if you could also get, so for those people that don't want to do TOB to get their blood shards and they do want to just have some other activity, what if there was also vials of blood that dropped from this exclusive Mauritania Elite Vire spot where vials of blood are now dropped from there? Very rarely, of course. I don't want to see like the vials of blood drop, like plummet in price, but it would be an occasional drop that you get alongside blood shards here and there. They do drop these like pints of blood, which is really odd. Those things have like literally no use whatsoever. So I was just thinking, every 10 or 20 like pints of blood that you would normally get, you would just get a vial of blood or something like that. So let me know what you guys think. I'm just spitballing at this point, but it is something where it feels odd that vials of blood don't come from anywhere else. I guess it's not super odd, but like Zulrah has a super AFK, like slow fishing method to get scales, for example. So I just thought it would be kind of cool to just be able to get the occasional vial of blood. Now that the Scythe is like really useful, especially for a lot of Iron Men, like it is a very, very viable option, and they've cheapened the price. They've added a Scar Essence. Like Scythe just feels like something that, people want to be able to like main at this point. So the game's definitely changed. So this is just something I've been thinking about. The other thing that I want to see potentially, now this can go two different ways. I was thinking, what if Onyxes could charge Blood Furies by 5,000 charges? So the blood shards recharge Amulets of Blood Fury by 10,000, and normal Onyx would charge it by 5,000. So this would be a way to just bypass entirely getting an additional blood shard every single time you want to recharge it, and you could just, get Onyxes. And this would actually make it so Onyxes have a use. So like getting an Onyx from Tecton, getting an Onyx from Volcano or Zulrah, you're like, okay, this is a nice drop. And also it would be a way to be able to buy them technically, but they're expensive, they're still expensive. So, and right now I believe blood shards are about 5 mil and Onyxes are just about half that. So it really does kind of balance out nicely with where the economy is at currently. So, this is the other alternative. What if, and this is something that could actually help pickpocketing in general. So people have been wondering, what can we do about pickpocketing? It's so unbearable. It's so boring. It's just painful to do. And I'm talking not about Artie Knights, something that's just completely brain numbing. But something like Elves or Vires, where it's just like you're failing repeatedly, like over half the time. And I was thinking, what if there was a necklace that's kind of like a dodgy necklace, but it's a more advanced version of it that's actually charged with onyxes, and this allows a much higher chance of success rate. So I believe dodgy necklace is like a 20 or 25% chance of evading the pickpocket. With this new amulet that's charged with onyxes, it allows you like, I don't know, 75% evade rate or something really high, but bots wouldn't be using it, and gold people that are really looking to get a bunch of gold from pickpocketing also wouldn't want to do it either, because this is going to cost. But for those that want the uniques, specifically Iron Man, I know this is just very Iron Man focused, but for those that are looking for crystal shards and blood shards and they hate the amount of failing you get, hey, well, now you can actually spend money by charging this brand new amulet with onyxes that runs out occasionally, and now you have a much, much higher chance of success rate, and it just makes thieving feel so much better. You're not failing as much, but it does have a cost associated to it. So anyway, just an idea. And it's also like an onyx sync. I just feel like we still don't have one of those, so why not? Okay, this is pretty minor, but I think it would be cool to just allow Scythe, Shadow, and Blood Fury, and pretty much all charged weapons and charged items to just be given the 100,000 charge limit, similar to the Ring of Suffering. Ring of Suffering holds 100,000 charges. I just think at this point, why not just give everything 100,000 charge cap? Just, I don't know. Again, it's not like super necessary, but there are some things where it's like, okay, like the reason ChargeScape is so annoying for people is just how tedious it can be, just maintaining the amount of, not maintaining the charges, but just having to remember to recharge these things. So I just think at this point, it would be cool to just have 100,000 charges of that you can hold into these items. Okay, now kind of moving on to like some skilling. When I was making this list, I started thinking of onyxes and stuff, and I was like, what if gem rock mining? So when you're mining gem rocks, it allows a rare chance of getting a dragon stone. So right now it only caps up to diamonds, which I think is kind of interesting and kind of arbitrary. So what if you could get dragon stones? And then I was thinking, what if it was a super, super giga rare chance of pulling an onyx as well from gem mining in particular? So let me know what you guys think about that. It would be very, very rare, but it would just be cool, you know, just to be gem mining and then randomly get a fucking onyx. That'd be really cool, and it makes sense. Okay, the other thing I want to see is a chargeable explorer's ring. So there's a lot of like Slayer tasks and things where you want to be on the Ancient Spellbook, for example, or Arceus, and you get a bunch of alchs on the ground. And it's kind of annoying because the only spellbook, obviously, that has high alchemy is the standard prayer book or standard spellbook, and that, you know, is kind of annoying. And your explorer's ring, even after the elite diary, only holds 30 charges per day. So I was thinking, what if we could just have an item that's very similar to the explorer's ring that allows you to actually charge it with nature runes and fire runes? And now you have this charged ring that acts exactly like the explorer's ring high alch option, and you can just bring that to all your Slayer tasks, and whenever you get alchables, you can just alch it right there on the spot. Yeah, I just think that would be really cool. Instead of having that really nice luxury only 30 times a day, I just feel like it's 2024. Can we just have a cool ring that maybe is a unique drop from some skilling boss or something like that, and now there's another fun ring to be able to have to bring to your Slayer tasks? I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool. On the topic of high alchemy, I also think it would be cool to have like a multi-alch spell. They actually mentioned this in the Winter Summit, where you could actually go out to like the wilderness at the Fountain of Rune and be able to alch like 30 noted items in one cast of a spell. But the risk is obviously you're there with all your fucking GP and all your noted items that you're trying to alch. But on that topic, I was thinking, why not just add a multi-alch spell to the standard or just to any sort of spellbook already, just without being in the wilderness, and that it would have a higher cost to it. So maybe it alchs like 5 or 10 things at a time, and you know the cost associated with it is slightly more nature runes. And yeah, I just think it would be cool because like right now, I mean, there are so many things that people need alching. And again, I'm gonna bring up that's like Iron Man in particular. I play in Iron Man, obviously, so I know about it. A lot of people just have so many fucking alks, and then they just go to the rogues end and just spam sell them, which is I guess fine, but why not just have a way to do it yourself, like the Iron Man spirit, you know, where you're alching? Obviously, we can, but one at a time every 5 ticks is like we're getting to the point where we just have so much shit to alch. It's like, can we speed this up? Maybe 5x or 10x or something like that. So alchemy genuinely feels like you're getting through your stacks quicker. That would be kind of nice. So anyway, kind of interesting. Love to know what you guys think about that one. The other thing I'd like to see, okay, this might be controversial, especially for those farmers, but I was talking about it with my stream and I thought it was kind of a cool idea. So what if you see this herb patch over here? What if there was a way to just instantly extract all of them, whether that just be across the board, you can just do that now, or maybe at a high enough farming level or some tithe farm reward or something, or even a spell like the Arceus spell that has like a quick extraction spell that has a high cost of runes. You go over there, you know, use the freaking spell on it, boom, and you've now extracted all the herbs all at once. Boom, you're done, move on to the next patch. So obviously that's getting rid of the quote unquote old school feel of picking individual herbs repeatedly. And this would also be for like snake grass and watermelons too. It would be an instant extraction. And I don't know. I just think, I mean, obviously these would be a little bit wonkier because like what would happen? Would they just note instantly or do they all drop to the ground? Because you would not have enough inventory for most of the time getting those. But I think for herbs in particular, especially, it would be cool to just have an instant extraction. So you can just get done with your herb runs a little bit quicker. Herb runs and farm runs in general just can take so long. And so speeding this process up would be nice. And on top of that, one of the things that Leagues 4 introduced was a fairy ring and a tool leprechaun teleport thing. So these would be two distinct items. These are something like I actually think this could be a good idea for the game. I need to hear some downsides if you guys disagree with me. But an item that comes out from a new skilling boss or something like that, or some new boss in general, that's a fairy ring. So it's a literal ring that's called a fairy ring, and you can actually just summon a fairy ring right from anywhere, basically. So right now we pretty much already have a fairy ring anywhere because you have a POH and you're just always within like 2 fucking ticks from a fairy ring. But this would just be a way so you don't need to go to your POH. You can just use your fairy ring right there while equipped and just summon your fairy ring portal and teleport to anyone you want. So that would be obviously a very nice reward. It'd probably have a hefty price tag as well because it'd be so convenient to use, especially for clue scroll Andes. And the other thing that would be cool is a tool leprechaun teleport thing. So maybe that could be given from, I don't know, Tithe Farm or the Farming Guild in general. Maybe once you've done a certain amount of contracts, Jane gives you a tool leprechaun pot of gold or something. You rub the pot of gold or something, it summons a rainbow, and you just go to any tool leprechaun you want. So this would also drastically decrease the time spent running to all your herb patches and doing your hourlies. So again, these are not essential. These are obviously really, really game-changing things that I've just mentioned, but I don't know. It's just one of the annoying things about, I mean, I think most people can agree like hourlies can get a bit tedious and there's just a lot of time spent doing these hourlies. So kind of speeding up that process, just making it more streamlined would be nice. But again, I do understand that this would change a lot of things and it might appear to be busted or, you know, maybe this is not right for the game. And I totally understand that. And I'm willing to listen to your guys' feedback down in the comments. The other thing that would be cool is if the herb pouch held 100 of each herb. Right now, I believe they only hold 30 of each type. So it'd be cool if it could just hold 100. Same thing with the gem bag. I think the gem bag, as well as, so the gem bag, I believe should hold the lesser gems as well, opals, jades, and topazes, but also just increase all of the quantities to 100, I think. That's not necessary by any means. I just think it would be kind of cool to just be able to hold more. And going back to gem mining, I think it would be cool if the superior mining gloves you get from the mining guild could have an effect on gem rocks. So that when you mine a gem rock, there's a chance that it actually stays there and you could just continually mine that same one And maybe if the Varrock body also worked with it, you get 2 gems at once with the equivalent XP. That'd be kind of interesting and fun, in my opinion. And this is something I made a ramble on a long time ago, so I'm not going to go into this, but or not a long time ago, several months ago, but just balancing rock respawn rates and success rates across the game. I just feel like that needs to happen. In order to just feel like mining in the overworld, just like a non-minigame type mining just feels more balanced and like actually kind of incentivized a little tiny bit. The other thing I like to see in regards to mining is the Blast Mine reward shop, where the Blast Mine now has some rewards, and one of those rewards would be increased excavation speed. So this actually makes the minigame more click intensive. Like, it is higher APM because the excavations go quicker, but it would make the minigame feel a little bit nicer for those that do want to sweat a little bit more. And it would have a direct implication, like a direct, what am I trying to say? A direct correlation between like higher XP rates with how quick the excavations are. And it would also increase the GP rates per hour. So something I thought would be cool. And we're wrapping up to the end. I want to bring up the teleport to DKs. I think I said I would mention that. The teleport to DKs from the CA's reward would be really, really nice. So right there where you can like hide in that little pocket right next to the ladder and like peek into the DK's layer. It'd be cool if it was a teleport right there with the completion of CA's. So maybe you get like 1 or 3 teleports with Elite done, or 3 to 5 teleports a day with Masters, and maybe unlimited at GM. So I'd love to know what you guys think about that. Also, make all overworld agility shortcuts impossible to fail at 99. I think it's actually ridiculous that courses and like like sepulcher courses, but like just you could just literally just get RNG'd and fail stuff at 99 agility, including random shortcuts throughout the world. I just feel like at 99, like, come on, you can't get any better. Can we just make it so it's impossible to fail? I think they're actually going to be making that change anyway. They mentioned that in Project Rebalance, so I'm not actually too worried about that. I think that actually will be coming into the game. And hopefully the shortcuts will be made faster, so I'm excited about that. On the Lunar Spellbook, there is this is the last one I want to mention, by the way. There are 2 spells on the Lunar Spellbook, Flax, or Spin Flax, and a Tan D'Hide. And both of those spells only do 5 at a time. So I just thought those spells are pretty dead content at this point, especially with just how drastic the metas have changed over the last decade. And I just think it would be cool if we could just tan all hides in your inventory at one time with that spell and be able to spin all flax in your inventory with one cast of a spell. So nobody even uses the Tan D'Hides. Well, very, very, very few people use the Tan D'Hide spell because there's a tanner in the crafting guild that's like super, super giga fast. I mean, he does all of them at once. It's the tiniest fee of all time. It's like 20 GP. And you just go up the ladder, go down, bank it, go up the ladder, go down, bank it. And that is the meta right now. So it'd be cool if the Lunar Spellbook did have a little bit of competition with that. People would still use the Tanner, by the way, even if they did make this change, because people wouldn't want to spend the Astrals potentially to cast a spell. But you would get some magic XP, which could be seen as good. And the same thing with that Spin Flax spell. Spinning 5 at a time is just so fucking slow. So they just make it so it's all of them. And you could make the spells cost more as well. So if there needs to be the equivalent cost of the spell, like the rune cost, that would be appropriate as well, I think. So anyway, these are 25 different improvements or just straight up buffs. I should have probably said that at the beginning, that I would like to see in the game. I'd really love to hear what you guys' takes are on all of these, or just some of them that kind of stood out to you. This did really feel rambly. By the time I got like 20 minutes into this ramble, I realized, okay, this is kind of a lot. I'm just like spewing at you guys, but I just figured I would just say it. Why not? You know, it's a Sebe ramble. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed it, drop a like on the video. If you actually made it to the end of the video, I'm very, very proud of you. So thank you for watching the whole thing. And I will catch you boys in the next one. Also, tomorrow we're having noob type on the Sebe cast, which is going to be huge. Very, very excited about that. So look forward to that. And yeah, peace out, guys. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you later. Peace.